A free society is where the people are actively involved. If citizens don't do it, who's going to do it? The Chinese American community actually has a very, very unique and privileged position when it comes to the security of this country, because it recognizes the realities of communist tyranny. And so if there are Chinese Americans out there who find that they enjoy refuge and freedom and prosperity here in the United States, let them recognize, and I think many do, but let them recognize that being an active citizen is an important part of the defense and preservation of freedom. If citizens don't do it, who's going to do it? A free society is where the people are actively involved. If you are in this country and you have freedom to speak the truth and to help inform ordinary Americans who are, not of Chinese background, then I think that the Chinese American community has a solemn obligation as citizens of this country to do this. And frankly, I think there are Chinese Americans who do this kind of thing. But there's a potentially very large voice that could be exercised here. I believe that those who have the capacity and who understand some of these realities, who have actually experienced some of these realities, have to bear public witness, moral witness. They have to tell the truth about these things. A lot of this is a problem of counterintelligence. And our FBI needs to know about this. And we have some reporters in this country who are ready to report about these matters. I think members of Congress have to learn about these things from people, and their staffs have to learn about it. Come and visit your congressional representative on Capitol Hill, which you as a citizen have the right to do, and you may either meet with that representative or his or her staff. You can share your knowledge about these realities. The congressional staffs are vital instruments of influence in this country, but many of them are very young and they haven't studied history very much. There's been a major decline in the study of history in American colleges and universities and even high schools. So people are unaware about a lot of these things. How many congressional staffers know about the Lao guy? I would say probably 1% of the congressional staff members and 1% of the members of Congress know about the Lao guy. Maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 10%. Don't hold me to these numbers, but it is a very small percentage. I think every member of Congress should know about the Lao guy. I think every congressional staff member should. The graduates of the Institute of World Politics who work on Capitol Hill do know about it. I think that this type of education is absolutely vital. And so it's important that people who understand this history and understand the techniques of the long arm of Chinese communist tyranny can come and explain it to the people who need to know it. If you are a Chinese American and you're sending your kids to a public school in San Francisco and your children are reading a history book that says something about the history of China, and there's nothing there about Mao Zedong, Mao Zedong, however you want me to pronounce it, and about how he is the greatest mass murderer in the history of the world, then maybe you can complain to the school that the textbook is withholding something that is greater in this scope of human suffering than the Holocaust. Everybody knows about the Holocaust, but why do they know about it? Because the Jewish American community has taken it upon itself to to educate their fellow citizens about this incredible monstrosity. And they built a museum, and they ensure that there is literature about this to educate people about it. Well, if the Chinese American community doesn't do something similar, then people will not know, and the human suffering perpetrated by regimes like this will be replicated. What has happened in Venezuela? One of the most prosperous countries in all of the Western Hemisphere, with the largest oil reserves of any country in the world, and in 15 years, under 2 socialist presidents, Venezuela is now a poverty-stricken hellhole where people are looking for food in garbage cans and city dumps. And those are the people who aren't fleeing from the country. So if the Chinese American community isn't going to try to help educate their fellow American citizens about these things, then these things will persist, and people will have illusions, and we may end up electing politicians in this country who will bring us down the wrong road. And you know, again, Solzhenitsyn said, "One word of truth outweighs the world." So, one person coming and telling the truth, that one person is all of a sudden a majority. One person telling the truth is a majority over a whole collection of people censoring themselves or repeating falsehoods. And people fear, the people who live by the lies, the people who are in charge of these regimes, fear the truth more than anything else. And so you tell the truth. Books have to be written about this. And if the book is written by somebody with a pseudonym so that it's not clear who exactly wrote it, there are people who will publish these kinds of books. The truth is the most powerful weapon. The truth is the most powerful weapon. And if you can get, if Chinese American dissidents can get the support of sympathetic members of Congress, this is very, very important, because the member of Congress can be a very powerful voice and can pressure the White House, can hold hearings, and call witnesses, and ask penetrating questions to cabinet members, to heads of intelligence agencies, to the head of the FBI. And you know, gradually the truth is coming out here and there.